Okay, we'll try it without it. Hi, everybody. Hi. Okay, let me start off with the woman that calls down her husband. She says, Jakey, come upstairs and let's have sex. He says, Becky, I can't do both. Through the miracle of modern medicine, can you hear me out there? Yes. Through the miracle of modern medicine, a 70-year-old woman is able to conceive, carry a child for 9 months, and give birth to a healthy baby boy. And she brings the baby home. Her friend comes to visit. She says, Becky, show me the boy chick. She says, you'll have to wait. I said, what do you mean I have to wait? I took 2 subway trains and a bus to get here. But I have to wait. I told you you'll have to wait. I don't want to wait. I'll show him to you when he starts crying. What? Then he starts crying. I'll show you the baby. I said, what are you crazy? What do I have to wait for him to start crying? So, all right, you have to wait for him to start crying because I forgot where I put him. Woman calls up her friend. She says, I understand you got a new apartment. She says, I did. Why don't you come visit? She says, I'd love to visit you. I don't know where you live. You got to give me directions. She says, I live at 1486 86th Street. You'll take the train, get off at 86th Street, you'll walk and see a big apartment house. Outside says 1486, go there. Outside's a double door. With the right elbow, press down the handle from the door, push open the door, you'll be in what we call a vestibule. In the vestibule is a list of buttons. I'm apartment 4B. With the left elbow, press 4B. It'll ring upstairs. As soon as I hear the ring, I'll buzz you. When you hear the buzzer, with the right elbow, press the handle from the inside door, push open the door, walk straight ahead to the elevator, with the left elbow, press up. You'll get in the elevator, with the right elbow, press 4 for the 4th floor. You'll come right to 4th floor, get straight ahead to my apartment 4B. With the left elbow, press the doorbell. With the right elbow, you'll go ahead and give a couple of knocks. I'll answer the door. You'll come in. I'll have coffee. She says, just a second. What kind of directions is this with the elbows? The left elbow, the right? I never heard such directions. What's with the elbows? She says, what? You're coming empty-handed? This guy walks by a shoe store, and he sees a pair of burgundy boots. He says, you know, I always wanted for myself a pair of burgundy boots. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go inside the store and buy one. Goes inside, tries it on. He says, you know what? I'm going to wear them home. They're perfect, everything just what I wanted. I'm going to surprise Becky. Walks into his apartment. He says, Becky, you see anything different from me? She says, what? You look like a schlump yesterday, you look like a schlump today, you look like a schlump tomorrow. He says, oh yeah, just a second. Goes into the bathroom, gets completely undressed, except for his burgundy boots. He says, now you see anything different? She says, what? The schmeckle, it hung yesterday, the schmeckle hung today, it'll hang tomorrow. He says, you know why it's hanging? It's looking up my new boots. She says, you know, Jakey, better you should have bought a hat. Woman calls up her friend. She says, I understand you went out with Saul Schwartz. You had a date with Saul Schwartz. She says, I did. Why are you asking? She says, because he called me and he wants a date with me. You got to tell me something about, I don't know, what's with Saul Schwartz? Let me tell you, the perfect gentleman at the start. He picked me up in a limousine, went to a fancy restaurant, had soup to nuts, everything was great. And then we came back to my apartment, we're sitting talking. All of a sudden, Sam Schwartz gets up, throws me on the kitchen table, and rips by me the Balenciaga dress, throws it away, takes by me the Gucci Pucci shoes, throws one the other way. Then he goes ahead, I had on Victoria's Secret with the laces and everything else. He rips it off on me, takes off the Hayden's underwear, and he has it on the sex with the table. She says, for 20 minutes. She says, no kidding, she says, yes. So if you have a date with Saul Schwartz, one thing you should do, wear old clothes. Okay. Murray was a professional waiter all his life. And he passed away, and his wife is grieving for 3 years. I miss my mother. I don't know what I could do. I can't live without. Friend comes over. He says, "You gotta stop grieving. You're grieving. You're thinking about Murray all your life. Gotta get on with your life." "I can't help it. I miss my Murray. I don't know what to do." He says, "You know what you should do? Go to a seance." He says, "A what?" "A seance." He says, "What's that?" She says, "That's where they sit around the table and they think about a departed, and sometimes they appear. Maybe Murray will appear." Finds out where there's a seance. She attends it. Big round table, 8 people sitting at it. She takes a seat. The leader says, "Okay, everybody, close your eyes, think of the departed, and maybe they'll appear." She closes her eyes. A couple of minutes, the table starts shaking, rattling. She's startled, opens her eyes. She sees her husband Murray standing there in the corner. He's dressed in his waiter's outfit, black suit, white shirt, black bow tie, a towel draped over his arm. She says, "Murray, is that you, Murray?" He says, "Yes, darling, it is." She says, "Come here, come over here." He says, "I can't. That's not my table." Priest, rabbi, and minister are talking about miracles. And the priest says, "I believe in miracles because I was in a plane crash. No lights, no emergency equipment, the moon wasn't out, and it was pitch black, so I didn't know what to do. So I put my hands together and I prayed. And as soon as my prayer was finished, there was a helicopter above us with a searchlight, and they rescued me. It was truly a miracle." And the minister says, "I also believe in miracles because I was in the Alps. I was skiing. There was an avalanche. I was covered with 20 feet of snow, but I happened to be in a fetal position, so I prayed. And as soon as my prayer was finished, I heard them digging above me, and they rescued me. Truly a miracle." And the rabbi says, "I also believe in miracles. One Shabbos, I'm walking down the street, and I see a wallet. Out from the wallet, sticking hundreds of dollars. I'm an Orthodox Jew. I can't touch money on the Sabbath. So I put my hands together and I prayed. And as soon as my prayer was finished, poof, it was Thursday." A woman sitting on a blanket on the beach. Man sits down a couple of feet from her, also on a blanket. She wants to have some conversation. Says, "Mister, you come here often?" He says, "Every so often." She says, "Do you live near here?" He says, "I have a condo over there." "You have children?" He says, "Yeah, 3 of them all live north." She says, "You married?" He says, No, I'm a widower." She says, she's running out of questions. She says, "Tell me, you like pussycats?" With that, he gets up, goes over to a blanket, rips up a bathing suit, has sex with her for 20 minutes on the blanket, goes back to his blanket, and he's sitting there reading a book. She says, my God, how did you know that's what I wanted?" He says, "How'd you know my name was Katz?" Oh, good. Okay. I haven't gotten the warning lights yet. This Jewish guy has a barn, and he's in Texas, and he's grooming the barn. He's grooming the bull. He's grooming the bull in the barn every day. He's there every day grooming the bull. And one day he comes out, goes into his barn. He looks and he sees the bull's balls are painted red. He gets furious. "Some son of a bitch paint my bull's balls red. I'll get that bastard." He runs to the local saloon. Opens the door, the place is filled with big Texan smoke and everything. "Which one of you bastards went ahead and painted my bull's balls red? Come and face me, you no good bastard. Come and face me, you coward. Come on, right here." Big Texan gets up, walks over to him. He says, "I'm the guy that went to a hardware store, bought a can of paint, bought a brush. Middle of the night, I went to your barn. I broke the doors down. I saw your bull. I opened the paint can. I took the brush, put it in the paint can. And I went ahead and I painted the bull's balls red. I'm the one that did it. What do you got to say?" He said, "I came to tell you, the first coat is dry." In Texas also, in a bar. In a bar, this Jewish guy is sitting at the table. He all of a sudden he sees a big Texan go over to the bartender. He says, "Give me a scotch and soda or else." Yes, sir, here. Another guy gets up, "Give me a scotch and soda or else." Yes, sir, here. Another guy goes, give me a scotch and soda or else. Yes, sir. He figures it's his turn. He walks over. He says, give me a scotch and soda or else. Barton says, or else what? He says, or else a ginger ale, a Coca-Cola, a 7-Up. Still got time? No? Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.